Akari's story on Miwa's podcast channel is here to begin. There are two versions of me. The first is a perfectly folded piece of origami, neat, precise, every crease in its proper place. A crane maybe, or a lily. That's the Akari who stayed in Fukuoka. Her life is a beautiful, predictable pattern, a testament to patience and following the lines. Then there's the second version, me, the one talking to you from a 20th floor apartment in Brooklyn. If I were origami, I'd be the one that got crumpled into a ball, thrown across a room, and then smoothed out again. The folds are still there, but they're soft, a little messy. There are new, unexpected creases that tell a much more interesting story. My name is Akari Tanaka, and this is the story of that crumpling. The story of how I, a girl who was basically a human whisper, decided to move to the loudest city on earth to chase a ghost I saw in a movie. In Japan, I was a stone in a tranquil garden. I was meant to be still, to be part of a harmonious whole. We have a proverb, deru kui wa utareru. The nail that sticks out gets hammered down. I spent the first 24 years of my life trying to be the flattest nail imaginable. I was a junior graphic designer at a respectable marketing firm. I designed polite logos and serene brochures. My days were a gentle, repeating rhythm. The chime of the office door, the soft click of my mouse, the polite bow to my superiors, the bike ride home under streetlights that all looked the same. I was a good daughter, a reliable employee. On the outside, I was the picture of contentment. But on the inside, there was a constant low hum, a single, quiet note on a koto string that no one else could hear. It was a yearning for, I don't know, a different kind of silence. The silence of being anonymous, not the silence of being obedient. In Fukuoka, I was always Tanaka-san's daughter. I was always Maruyama Corp's junior designer. My identity was a collection of labels pinned to me by others. This feeling, this hum, came from an old bootleg VHS tape of an American movie my uncle had brought back years ago. It wasn't famous, just a black and white romance. But there was one scene. A woman, her face full of a kind of weary grace, walked through Greenwich Village at dusk. The camera followed her as she bought a hot pretzel from a street cart, the steam fogging the cold air. She looked into the window of a dusty, overstuffed bookstore, a small, private smile on her face. She was completely alone, but she wasn't lonely. She was just a single, confident brushstroke on a massive, chaotic canvas. The city didn't swallow her, it gave her context. It made her shine. I watched that scene until the tape wore out, trying to absorb that feeling of anonymous freedom through the screen. So, I began to live a double life. By day, I was the perfect flat nail. By night, I was a secret agent of my own future. Every yen I could save from my modest paycheck was funneled into a hidden bank account I'd labeled the New York Fund. I took English lessons at a small school in the evenings. My teacher, a kind British man named Arthur, would praise my grammar but despair at my accent. "Louder, Akari-san, be bold with it," he'd say. My tongue felt clumsy and foreign, trying to shape these loud, round sounds. Words like coffee and 33rd Street felt like marbles in my mouth. I felt like I was trying to learn a new color. The day I bought the one-way ticket, I sat in front of my laptop for 3 hours. The cursor blinked on the confirm purchase button, a tiny, pulsing heartbeat of my potential future. Clicking it felt like deliberately stepping out of the frame of my own picture. My hand trembled over the mouse, the click echoing in my tiny, quiet apartment like a gunshot. It was an act of rebellion so profound, so out of character, it felt like someone else was moving my arm. For a moment, I was terrified. Then a wave of pure, exhilarating adrenaline washed over me. The path was no longer a straight line. It was a question mark. Telling my parents was like trying to explain the color of the wind. We sat at our low table, the air thick with the unspoken. My mother's tears were silent, her shoulders shaking as she continued to prepare dinner.